that concept of a health care plan the president talked about during the debate? It seems he now has a plan, but some in his own party don't like it. There was talk it would be rolled out this week, but then it was pulled back. Scripps News congressional correspondent Nathaniel Reed joins us now in studio. And Nate, why punt on an announcement of a plan before you even roll it out?
Well, the irony here, I mean, it seems like it still is a concept of a plan in some ways because they have not yet rolled it out. And ultimately, it was reportedly this indecision up on Capitol Hill about the best way to address these things. There are reports that House Speaker Mike Johnson got involved in some of the pushback against this proposal from President Donald Trump. Again, the proposal here reportedly would have been about a 2-year extension of these Affordable Care Act tax credits. But the fact of the matter is Democrats on Capitol Hill have already been trying to pass something much attuned to that 2-year extension, and ultimately they haven't had much success in doing so. There's right now a petition in the House of Representatives, much like the way that vote came about to release the Epstein files, to try and force a vote on a 2-year extension of those Affordable Care Act tax credits. That does not appear to be going anywhere. Even some moderate Republicans saying that they have big issues with it. Here's a congressman from Nebraska who I spoke with last week about this.
But we need a longer-term plan because the health care is unaffordable. I mean, the ACA keeps requiring more and more tax dollars to prop it up.
Would you sign on to this discharge petition led by House Democrats?
I wouldn't sign it just a plain extension. They're going to have to. Hakeem Jeffries can't do my way or the highway on this thing. This thing got passed without a single Republican vote to begin with. And so if we're going to do an extension, we'll have to have some kind of income caps, I believe, and some way to assure that every dollar spent on these premiums these tax credits lower premiums. And right now, about a third of that money does not.
Are you optimistic that something can be reached before the end of the year?
Yeah, because most Republicans, most Democrats don't want to see people's premiums skyrocket.
And that was Congressman Don Bacon. But just to prove to you that there is, a lot of indecision about the best way forward, look at another member of the Nebraska delegation, another Republican, Congressman Mike Flood. He chairs the Republican Main Street Caucus. He just put out a statement a very short time ago saying, quote, Main Street supports President Trump's ongoing efforts to address the ACA tax credit cliff with an extension. He continues, any effort to address this cliff needs to include income caps and make serious reforms to the credits. He continues, our caucus is committed to working with President Trump, our House leadership, to find a solution that can pass Congress before the end of this year. So even within the Nebraska delegation, you see two different ideas about the right way to address health care. Likely some lobbying from the president, much like with the Epstein files bill, will be necessary to get something across the finish line. But then you've got the larger question of, how acceptable is this to Democrats?